Chapter 28, The Duplicates. At last, the scratchy sound of the elevator reached their ears as it ascended the shaft. Burdened by its weight, it was emitting an annoying, sharp noise akin to a couple of cats sliding down a tin rooftop. Slowly, the elevator emerged and came to a halt. Roberto and Key Bob carried the large industrial microwave over to the table. YY, who was sitting on top of the microwave, came up on the wings and joined the other two dragonflies up on the fridge. They exchanged a whisper and all three began to chant in unison. Monkey, monkey, monkey you. Monkey you, monkey you, monkey you. However, their song was abruptly interrupted by the irate young fellow. Cut it out. He glared at Azer and remarked, when they catch on to a catchy tune, they just keep on humming it like pesky kids. With the hard drive now positioned inside the oven and connected to the laptop, Roberto disregarded the young man's childish protest, who was deeply engrossed in his war game. Roberto halted the game on the big screen and redirected the display to the hard drive. Seating himself, he pulled the laptop closer and mused, "Let's see what we've got here." The contents of the hard drive were meticulously organized into folders. Roberto began navigating through the folders, housing a collection of photographs of antique paintings. Reclining in his chair and gazing at the sizable screen, he observed, "Seems like a rather substantial art collection." Switching between various images, he continued, "But it's puzzling. Every folder contains duplicate copies of the same painting." Azer queried, "Can you juxtapose the images for comparison?" They diligently scrutinized the images for discrepancies, but to no avail. Following a brief silence, Azer pondered, "Could one of these paintings be a fake?" Roberto responded, "Certainly possible. However, it doesn't quite add up, forging identical duplicates of all the paintings." As XX and YY ceased their humming, their attention became fixated on the screen. Meanwhile, ZZ could be heard snoring in the background. With enthusiasm, XX addressed YY, "Haha, typical humans. They look at it without truly seeing it. Should we help them out?" YY agreed, "Yes, let's give it a shot." XX and YY took flight, hovering before the images on the large screen, each positioning themselves on opposite sides. Through graceful maneuvers in the air, they magnified the images progressively. The image on the left eventually ceased expanding, pixelating at its limits. However, under XX's control, the image on the right continued growing, revealing finer and finer details. Ultimately, the image reached a blank screen, without any fundamental unit. Upon the dragonflies' return to their base, Roberto observed the numbers beneath the identical images and remarked, "It was a puzzle before. Now it's a genuine enigma." He explained, "The numbers under the photos show how many times each picture has been zoomed in until it has reached its basic unit. The left picture is from a regular camera, but the one on the right shouldn't even exist. It doesn't even have a basic unit. It's way too detailed for our current technology on Earth." The professor asked, "Can you put that in simpler terms?" Roberto smiled and explained, "Imagine when you were younger, people were amazed by James Bond's watch doing cool things. Recently I saw a guy on the street who was delivering nice portrait paintings of tourists. It took me a while to figure out what he was up to. He had placed a small camera in his cap and had a small brush in his hand that was robotic and made the guy's hand move in the right direction on the canvas." He continued, "It seems someone's investing a lot in AI for art. That means they could mass-produce fake art that looks just like the real thing." Key Bob looked at the professor, saying, "So, we're facing a super high-tech enemy." The professor nodded. "Every time I hear high-tech enemy, I think of Julius Fox. Roberto added, he might be involved in this.